This is take two because the battery went. Don't plan, then you plan to fail. Anyway, quick tip here before we get onto the book review. This is not the book. Deep Work. I was watching Ty Lopez, and he said Deep Work was a really good book. I like Ty Lopez. I ordered the summary, which sucks because it's about that big. It's not full of work. I do want to read the book more now because this was full of some nice quick insight, but watch what you're buying on Amazon. Anyway, the goal. The Goal is quite an old book, and it's by an author called Elijah M. Goldratt and Jeff Cox, but the main guy is Elijah M. Goldratt. Elijah M. Goldratt was once called by Fortune magazine as a genius, and by Business Insider a guru in the industry. Now the industry is business management, and he has been known for his concepts of theory of constraints, which is TOC, within the business industry. So he'll help you run smoother, basically. Your business runs smoother, without cutting all the costs that you think you need to cut. Just an outside sort of look from his perspective over the years of gaining all his knowledge, and he's put it into a beautiful little novel. This novel is about a guy who owns a factory. His factory is going to get shut down, his marriage is going downhill because he's not producing what he should produce, and his boss has said, you know, you sort it out or we're shutting you down. So the guy in the book meets up with his old friend, which I'm guessing is Elijah M. Goldratt in the book, and he gives him the knowledge that he needs to save his factory and save his workers, run smoother. But he puts you in a context where he does it on days out with the scouts and the boys and different life events, but you can see where the theory of constraints within his factory kind of mirrored into his life. So I think it's a great way to learn. This one really gets your imagination going, and you can actually bring in things from your life into your business life, into your schedule, into your planning, into your diary. I mean, it's a great way to look at structure, especially by a guy, the author, who was known as a genius and a guru in the industry. Now, the goal is suggested for CEOs, business owners, or people with people underneath them, so you can get the theory of constraints and get enough faster process to produce your product or service. Now, please bear in mind that this is quite an old book. Elijah M. Goldratt was known back then as a revolutionary in the industry of business management and the concepts of theories of constraints, but nowadays with the technologies and the advancements in marketing and advertising, that some of the things within this book might not apply to today, but you might be able to read this book and twist it, you know, take the knowledge from this book and use it with what you use today with your marketing strategies. So I'd definitely say it's a read for anybody on those levels. If you own a business, if you've got people underneath you, you've got employees, you're a supervisor, it might give you a little bit of insight that you might be able to twist today. If not, you get nothing from it, but a little bit of knowledge and a good read because it is a novel. I like The Goal because it was similar to my favourite book, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I believe it was one of the books that changed my mind towards entrepreneurship and, you know, self-education, self-wealth. The Goal was suggested to me by my old boss, or one of my old bosses, when I was in the employee mindset. I asked one of my bosses, is there any books that you can recommend that I could read which would advance my knowledge within the factory, because I was an employee and I just wanted to work my way up the levels and not actually own the place. So thank you, Michael, and I suggest anybody who does run a factory or an industrialized sort of business, or you have a process of products or services going out, this may get you running a little bit smoother. Don't forget, this guy was once known as a genius and a guru in the industry. Just because it was a long time ago don't mean that a lot of the concepts don't come to today's. There is still theories of constraints, and we can still get past them with old knowledge applied to new knowledge. Go read The Goal. Ooh, yo. No, that one. Richard Branson. I've always been intrigued by Richard Branson. Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, they're all greats within their industry, and I read this book on Richard Branson. I got this book secondhand from a local shop, which is a great shop, a lovely bookshop, for £1.50. £1.50 for that knowledge. And the stuff that I learned from this is great. I think this is one of my top 10 books at the moment. Richard Branson, he's a character. He's a funny guy, but he does it all in a genius way. But I'll talk about the book. Next book review. Peace.